What's everybody, this is Samsings. In this video I'm going to talk about what we can learn from suffering. One of the biggest things we really hate is sufferings, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why we work so hard when you are young in order to make sure not to suffer when we are old. And that's also why reason that husband and wife work so hard in order to bring happiness at home, in order to make sure to fulfill their kids' desire and fulfill everything they wanted. And generally in Pali there's only a single word, it's called dukkha, but in English words there are many names that can be referred to suffering, like imperfections, unhappiness, displeasure, incomplete, pain, and there is so many words that can be referred to as suffering. So there are types of suffering that can be referred to problems, and we have many types of problems in our life that can be signified to our suffering, and we suffer depending on the times. When we are young, we have young sufferings. When we are mature, we have adult suffering, and when we are old, we have old man suffering. So depending on the time, human being suffers. And generally suffering can be divided into three parts. First is physical pain, like disease, back pain, headache, kinds of wounds that can be seen through our eyes, and there are lots of types of suffering that can be arise in the body. And the second is the psychological pain, psychological types of suffering, like what we want, we can't get it, what we don't want, we usually get it. This is one of the pain. We want what we really hate, it's always happening in our life. What we desire doesn't happen. This is kinds of suffering. It's kind of psychological, and that can be referred to mental pain. And the number third is the very deep understanding. It's a little bit hard to understand for normal people. It's called 5 aggregates, type clingings. It's called in Pali. This is called Panchupadana, like body, feeling, perception, and mental formation and the conscious. And these 5 types of clinging is the kinds of suffering. It's a very hard, but it's the main things that the Buddhism is try to analyze these things. It's a very clinging of these 5 things. It's really main suffering in the world. So the best example I like to give you is that, take an example from our Prince Siddhartha. Our Prince Siddhartha, he was a son of the king. Although he had everything in his soul, whatever he wanted, whatever he desired, everything is complete for every human being. It's a complete desire for human beings. He is called Siddhartha. But however, when he walked out from his palace, he saw 4 signs like old age, sickness, decay, and death, and wise man. When he saw these kinds of signs, he generally find that the world is completely unsatisfactoriness. Although we have everything we want, and however, the world is complete. For us, it's really incomplete, because we don't want to old. We get old, and we don't want to be sick. We don't want to die. But however, we have to face, no matter who we are, what we have. So this is one of the reasons that why we became monks, or why a person became a holy life, that in order to liberate from these types of suffering, not to get born again in this world, not to suffer, not to die. This is why the final liberation have to be sought. So this is why we suffer, in order to understand that the life is incomplete. But no matter who we are, what we have, how much we want to desire, and more we suffer. So this is the fact is that we try to earn lots of wealth. However, the more we have wealth, the more we have suspicious, fear, anxiety. That's why we always want security. The more we have wealth, the more we need security. We can't get out from the home like normal people. You need lots of guards in order to save your life because you have the wealth. This is why if we desire this kind of wealth, it brings happiness. So why we have so many fears? So much fear we have in this life. This is why this world is in this mundane life is a kind of suffering. So this is why the Prince Siddhartha show us that this is completely unsatisfactoriness. The final liberation is the nirvana. That's what we really need to seek. So hopefully wish you good luck.